Hey, Elon, you know what's wrong with AI-generated images?
No, what's that, David?
They're too perfect. So what happens is that if you want something that's a bit more like artistic or realistic or has some blur, has some imperfections to it, those models, they don't want to do that. They really don't want to. And so recently, a new model came out called Krea 2. And not only is it lightning fast and can run locally, but it's great at these more realistic kind of images.
It turns out that it's harder to be worse.
It is harder to be worse. Okay, so take this image, for example. This was generated by Krea, and I did it locally on my machine. And you'll see that there's like the fisheye lens, so you see the distortion of it all, but it still looks pretty darn realistic. So let's dive in to this model. Okay, Krea 2 is made by a company called Krea out of California. And they recently open sourced this. So this is a model that any of us can just download and run locally on your machine as long as you have a video card with at least 16 gigs of VRAM.
Got it. So still not on my MacBook Air.
Still not your MacBook Air. Yeah. All right. First things first, hop into ComfyUI. If you don't have it, download it, follow the tutorials you find elsewhere online on how to do this. Then come over here to templates and then just search for Krea.
And don't confuse it with Korea.
Yes, yeah. If your muscle memory types in Korea by accident, you're not alone. So make sure you select this one. There's another one floating around where you're using the API that uses the cloud server. So don't do that. Choose this option here. And so after you select that template, you're going to have these missing models errors. And so all that you got to do is, download them. So you click on the download all or download them one at a time and pop them into the correct folder. So over here, you'll see where they ought to belong over here. And there's links here as well. But of course, if you just click on download, you'll get it right from the correct spot.
This got considerably easier since we first started showing ComfyUI.
Yeah, it's like they're improving their product or something. All right. So once you've got your files downloaded and you have them selected either in that error box or down here, there's a few more setup steps that you might want to do. So first, this workflow comes out of the box with a prompt enhancement segment. So what it'll do is if you give it a prompt, maybe like a lazy prompt, it'll send it over to an LLM to make it a lot nicer and then generate the image based off of that prompt.
Is the LLM it sends it to local?
I think it uses one of the local models here that is part of the files that you got to include. I think it's this Quen model.
Hey, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, but it does slow down the workflow. And I want to show you just how quick this is. So I'm going to turn that off. The other thing to note here is that there is a resolution selector. So unlike other workflows where you need to just type in the exact pixels, you can choose, hey, do you want it to be a portrait photo or do you want it to be portrait widescreen? And so on. So let's choose portrait standard.
Yeah, I think it's great not having to know as the user how many pixels am I supposed to make my picture to make it a widescreen portrait.
Yeah. The other variable here is the number of megapixels. And so if we just start with the 1, we'll end up with like a 780p image, and we can go pretty high as well. We can go up to like 4K. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm throwing in a prompt here to, hey, I want to make a photo of like a sedan drifting. All right. So let's go ahead and generate an image. So it's going to be in portrait and just 1 megapixel. And we can already see just how fast this thing is. The ability for this to generate images rapidly is on par with the paid models. All right, so hey, we've got this image generated pretty quickly, and I mean because it's so fast, I can just keep rolling the dice until I get one that I want. But I mean that's pretty good, I would say, right? We can see the imperfections show up here, right? Let me open this image fully, right? Like we can see some of the fact that it's like not everything is fully in focus. Like there's lots of blur around here. So it's pretty good. We can crank up the megapixels. So 4 megapixels now. And let's see how long this takes.
Longer.
We're going to make the audience wait with us. I wonder if it would be 4 times longer. I wonder if it scales linearly like that.
I would guess no. I would guess that it's exponential. Something tells me.
All right. So here we have a 4K image. Let's open this up. There you go. Lots of clarity there. And again, we're getting a pretty good image here, a believable image. let's try something else. All right, let's try this with text. So I'm telling it to make a whiteboard with some text on it, and it's going to be written in cursive.
Did you add to your prompt, please garble it?
Okay, so you can see here that it does lettering pretty well. As you scroll down here, it's all written nicely.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So I think it was one of those things where it was the GPT image generator that, oh my, they fixed the text issue. But with this model, again, locally, you can do the same thing. Okay, so in Krea 2, the workflow also has LoRAs that you can add to them. And so LoRAs are things that will help the model become a lot more over-indexed in a particular direction for a particular image style. And so here on the bottom part of this node, there's the enable LoRa toggle. So we're going to turn that on. And we have LoRas that we can select from here. We're going to set the strength to 1. And if you don't know where to get the LoRas, well, come over here to this node and just come to this repository, download the corresponding LoRa that you want, and make sure that you have the trigger word. So for this example, we're going to choose the rainy window style LoRa. And we're going to see what we get there. So just add that trigger word to this bottom text box here. So that'll be in addition to your text up here. And let's go.
Oh, very cool.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, look at how realistic, the effects are, the light being bent with the water. If we didn't have this LoRa, let's turn that off and see the difference that the LoRa has made. Okay. So here's what it looks like without the LoRa. And you can see, all right, you still have a little bit of the water effects, but it's just not the same. Like here it is without the LoRa, and here it is with the LoRa. So a bit more artistic, and again, a bit more of the power of Krea 2.
Very cool. Well, David, thank you so much for showing that to us. I think it's cool that this model exists. It's cool that this power is coming to the hands of users in their local environments. And we'd love to hear what you all are doing with Krea 2. Let us know in the comments.
All right. See you next time.
See you next time.
Many times in getting ready for this episode, I typed Krea. It's just like muscle memory. My brain loads those characters and my muscles are like, oh, I think you mean with an O.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It turns out that it's harder to be worse.
It is harder to be worse.
All you need to know to validate that is look at our subscribers.
Exactly. We intentionally have fewer than 1,000 subscribers. That's a feature, not a bug.
It's harder to be worse.